Kia ora and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Could we be upstanding, please, for the karakia? Tuia ki te Māori te whenua. Tuia ki te mana o te tangata. Tuia ki te pono, te araha. Kia piki, kia eki, kia te tangata. Hui tai. Thank you very much, councillors. Welcome to Tuesday, this momentous meeting here today that we've been working hard to achieve. I have apologies, please. No, Councillor Rankin is not well. Johnny Dove, I haven't heard. He's not on.
He was going to try you, Richard.
Okay. And Councillor, lovely to see you back, Kirsty. Nice to see you. Councillor Campbell, haven't heard from him.
He's online.
Oh, okay.
Can you just ask him?
Are you there, Councillor Campbell, online?
Yes, no, I'm here, Your Worship. My one of the cars broke down, so yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Councillor, who's next to you? Chief of my memory. Karen, sorry. Okay. Councillor Fletcher, are you online? Okay. Do I have a mover for those apologies at this stage? Thank you. Councillor Shepherd, seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Any conflicts of interest pertaining to the items today? No, we will move on. Number 4 is confirmation, no minutes. No. Number 5.1, adoption of the long-term plan. And this afternoon we have Mrs. Kendall Good. Miss Kendall Good? Sorry. And Sarah. Our chief accountant, or has another official. What's your official role, Sarah? Sorry. Looks after the money. Yeah, okay. Cool. And a lot of us have just returned from, dear Heather's daughter's tangi, so we're a little bit sad today. So, but anyway, the business must carry on. So, Kendall, I'll open the floor to you to tell us what to do.
I could say that in about 3 words, but no, thank you very much for coming in on a Monday. I know it's outside the general normal meeting days, but we really appreciate it, given that this is the last possible day that we can adopt our LTP with new legislative deadlines in place. So last Wednesday we circulated the draft agenda to you, the agenda to you. That agenda included the long-term plan. That copy of their long-term plan included track changes, just so that you could see the changes rather than searching and comparing documents. We left things in track changes for you. But also today we will be receiving and adopting the audit report, the revenue and financing policy, the treasury management policy, and the development contribution policy as well. Through the audit process that has been going on for the last 6 weeks, there have been some changes to the long-term plan. The key changes that I just wanted to highlight through that was last week we had, which we will table today, is a change to one of our balance sheets. This was a result of rerunning some and working information that we had to do last week with our auditors. Sarah's here to elaborate on that if you would like to know more details. It was around our commercial properties, I understand. Yes.
Yeah, so the slight change, and again, it only affected the balance sheet since you received the agenda, was there was a movement between our council's investment property and inventory, and that was to do with the timing of the EUL development. So there was a slight change there.
The other key changes made to the document were through with the New Zealand Transport Agency funding that we received. So during deliberations, we had some of the funding known, indicative funding known, and then I think it was week 3 of the audit process, we found out about our low cost, low risk projects. We unfortunately didn't receive any funding for those projects. So what we had to do with that was we had to do some work to to still keep the projects in the long-term plan. Because as we discussed through deliberations, we will come back to you with the projects that weren't successful and reprioritise through the annual plan what we can fit within the budget. We have the local budget or council budget, and figure out what projects might need to be delayed through the annual plan process. The other reason we did leave the local share in the LTP was that if funding does become available, so there are circumstances where other councils are unable to do their projects, we have the funding ready to go, and that's usually a good start to receiving some funding from NZTA. So there's a couple of reasons why that was left in there.
And it was the same treatment as what was agreed to during the long-term plan process with the other NZTA funding that we weren't successful in receiving. So again, consistent with the decision made during the deliberations.
The other area of change, which again, sorry, attachment 1 to the agenda has all the key changes that were made during the audit process. We had a few changes to our performance measures. Notably, we have reintroduced some customer satisfaction measures. These are around the pools, the museum, the library, and the art gallery. Simply what we will be doing there is collecting data around satisfaction. It will be straightforward, and essentially on exiting the experience that people have, they will use a tablet to answer a question about how they have enjoyed or not enjoyed that facility. The results of that will be put through into our annual reporting processes on that year. The other performance measure that was reintroduced was the district's events for Turangi and Mangakino. So we've traditionally we had them in there, and through this review we had taken them out. This was seen as quite important, putting them back in. So again, we have reintroduced that measure. The two new measures that we have included were around our building consents. So one was around our timeliness. We've reduced our target from 100% to 90%. And also our building accreditation. Our building team worked really, really hard to make sure that we are accredited. And so that measure there is just making sure that we are maintaining it. But to reassure you, our guys work hard and we have maintained it. Now it'll just be formally reported on in the annual report again. So those are the, oh sorry, there was one more, which was our accounting and treatment around, again, our commercial properties and our development, and I'll hand that over to Sarah. She's the technical expert.
So there were two things that were updated by finance, or two main things. One was we received updated economic forecasts, so particularly our bill indices as well as our interest rate projections. So obviously the economy has changed a little bit even since deliberations. So we had to use the latest up-to-date information, and I'm aware that a number of councils chose not to do that and were qualified or obviously received emphasis in that matter for that. The other thing was the treatment of EUL. So we got an accounting opinion from Deloitte on how we should treat that. So it was a slight change to what we had in the draft long-term plan, and that was simply, again, around timing of whether something was stock on hand, so whether the sections were inventory or whether they are investment property, and the timing of that. Again, not a material change from a public perspective, but it did change obviously our finances and our work in progress and inventory and investment property values. So that was again no change to the actual the section sales or the cost of EUL, but it was just the treatment of that and the timing of when it went over to inventory or when it stayed in investment property.
So I suppose just to conclude all of that, while there were these changes per se, changes to the document, there were flow-on effects through to the actual final LTP document, and again, those are all identified through those track changes. So there are a number of them through there, and that's really it in terms of all the changes that have been made. Okay. We did receive.
So we will hand over to audit in a second. We've got our lovely auditors Leon and Kay online, but probably just we did circulate the draft audit report, and that is on page 2 17, I think. or
217, yeah.
Of the attachments. You will note that there is an emphasis of matter in there. We received one emphasis of matter, which is around the income and costs related to the development and sale of EUL. Now, audit, and I know this went to the Auditor General hot review process, and this was a recommendation from there as well. Because we haven't signed the development agreement yet with our consortium partners, that obviously we've got agreed commercial terms, but they are non-binding. So the certainty of that income is, you know, not as, you know, they just wanted to draw the public's attention to that, which is, yeah, I think the wording of that is in page 217, 218 of the attachment agenda. But I will hand over to Leon and Kay to discuss audit.
Kia ora, Sarah.
Okay. Go, fire ahead.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I jumped the gun a bit. Your worship, councillors, we've provided our audit opinion, and I think that says everything we need to say, so I'm not going to elaborate too much. Just on the emphasis of matter, please note that we don't say anything in your LTP or your assumptions are unreasonable. We say it is reasonable. We say, as so similar as what's in your long-term plan, that there are some uncertainty around the revenue and the expenditure of this project, and because it goes over 10 years, it's you know, it's not unreasonable to expect that there is some uncertainty, and that's all we do there. So the opinion we issue is an unqualified opinion, or plain English, it's a clean opinion. So we're saying that the long-term plan provides a reasonable basis for long-term decision-making by the council and accountability from the council to the ratepayers. Yep, and that's about all we've got to say at this stage. Take any questions.
Thank you very much, Leon. Any questions, councillors of the auditors? No, thank you very much, Leon and Kate. Thank you for coming on today and explaining that.
Thank you.
Right, back to you, Kendall. Anything else?
I suppose if we could move to the recommendations on page 3 of the agenda.
Cool.
And work through that.
Okay, any commentary and say anything regarding the recommendations there? Bearing in mind it's been a long process, and we've been preparing for this day for quite some time. Councillor Park.
Yes, just through the chair, I'd just like to really thank staff for this very long and arduous process that we've all been through, and without you, we all wouldn't be here today to do what we're about to do, and appreciate that audit we're able to get their ducks in a row before the end of this very important date for us. Your worship, we've been through this quite stringently at audit and risk as well, risk and assurance committee rather. So I feel quite comfortable in where we're at. So I'm not commenting because it's not normally a meeting day. I'm not commenting because I'm very comfortable with where we're at, and I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Councillor Park. Councillor Taylor.
Thank you, Worship. Just echo Councillor Park's comments. I know multiple teams within council have been involved heavily in this over a significant period of time, and it has come at some cost and some stress. At the risk of missing anyone out, you know, I'm thinking of the policy team, the comms team, the finance team, and lots of others who have worked night and day, not least of which is the executive led by Julie. And I want to thank everybody, the incredible hard work that you've done. I guess, Kendall, you've been the face of this, Rob, so thank you for your hard work as well. And the fact that we had 1,400 people submit. I know a district not far from here, also within the Waikato Collective, had 30 submissions on their long-term plan. So I guess that shows the level of engagement and interest, and the fact that the consultation document was sufficiently engaging that people engaged with it. And we got 70+% agreement with the way forward, which I would have thought is fairly significant, if not outstanding. So thank you again for your work, and I'm very comfortable with where we're at.
Thank you very much, Councillor Taylor. Any other commentary? Okay, well, I'm prepared to move the recommendation.
Your worship, sorry. Hello?
Campbell?
Yes, can I just say a few words, please?
Yes.
You know, look, I don't intend to put my name to this long-term plan because it feels wrong of me to do so. If I just explain why. But firstly, I mean, I'm a first-term councillor, so a lot of the long-term plan is the first time I've done a long-term plan. But I do have to question the whole time and effort put into a long-term plans in general, and not just this council, but any council actually, and especially the public consultation element, because I mean, we received about 1,400 public submissions, which is a whole lot of reading to get through. But the only change of any significance I could really tell was the bins to bags decision. So I think there's legitimate questions about the whole point of the way these long-term plans are undertaken. So that's one comment. Secondly was, I mean, I was elected on a platform of greater scrutiny towards decision-making, holding to account and contributing towards achieving better value for money infrastructure, especially the transport, because my experience in that area. I was pointedly excluded from any input at all into the most significant transport item in the long-term plan, and that includes a new bridge that I think mightn't even be necessary. And another line item which I've pointed out, we're spending 20 times more than I believe necessary. So in general, I perceive a deficiency of critical thinking going on in that space, and suspect it is happening elsewhere with such clues as the $20 million Turangi land disposal scheme, which is still progressing and with it still not being labelled to the public as a nice to do project that it clearly is. So I still believe that the Three Waters infrastructure program.
Thank you.
Your worship,
Yeah, thank you.
Your worship,
So-
I think I deserve a fuller explanation because I was elected as a representative. I haven't got much else to say.
Thank you very much, Councillor Campbell. So
Your worship,
yeah,
is it all right if I can
the
finish what I
recommendation.
say, please? I've only got a couple more sentences.
two sentences. Okay, go.
I mean, I still believe the Three Waters infrastructure program justifies an independent review since it comprises the lion's share of infrastructure. And to cap it all off, no pun intended, I have encountered zero interest at all from elected members or the executive team with respect to voluntary introduction of a restrictive rates capping regime, and zero acknowledgement that there might be wasteful spending going on. So that's me.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. It's been moved on itself. I just on moving that, if that's okay, the second, just wanted to make a couple of quotes. Adopting the long-term plan today marks the end of an 18-month process. Prepare the plan, and it's just the start of implementing it, of course. Achievement is a testament to everyone's hard work and dedication and commitment to the future of our community. Staff and councillors, Deputy Mayor have put in a huge amount of energy and time into developing this long-term plan, which will stand our community, I believe, in good stead for the next decade. So we're focused firmly on doing the essentials well, in line with our community concerns about the cost of living, and we totally understand that, while also planning to deliver some of the projects that make our district such a great place to live. Although we know we can't keep everyone happy, we've worked hard to keep the balance right and still maintaining our AA+ credit rating between the community wants and needs. So I'd just like to congratulate the team, and as the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Park said prior to me, thank you so much, guys, and especially headed by Kendall. And how we've poked into every corner of the district. I think we've done an absolutely marvellous job. I've been in this role now for quite some time, 12 years and 11 years, and council since 2001. I haven't seen extensive coverage like we have done this time. So thank you very much. I'm very, very proud to move this recommendation has been seconded by Councillor Lachlan. Any other commentary? Councillor Greenslade.
Thank you, Worship. I'd certainly like to reiterate what you've just said. Prior to coming on council, and I'm a first-term councillor, I was involved with the Residents and Ratepayers Association in Turangi, along with a number of other organisations. And I have to say, to be on the inside and see the workings from the inside, I really don't think that the community realises the huge amount of time, effort, energy, staff, councillors put into this project. I don't want to single people out because, like Councillor Taylor says, singling out it's not fair, but the community engagement team who gave up weekends and nights and came down to Turangi and conducted six community events and brought all the information with them and engaged with people down there, and everybody was welcome to come along, and they did. And so from now being on the inside, I have this overview of coming from the ratepayers through to the inside as a councillor, and I certainly commend everybody involved in this. We could not have done more listening to people and then taking that away and working on that. Nobody could have done more than what this council did, and congratulations.
Thank you, Councillor Greenslade. Councillor Leonard.
I'd like to thank the staff as well for their hard work. I would just like to see us as a sector push back on central government and the things that get pushed to us that then end up in the rates, because it becomes just the ratepayers covering things instead of the taxpayers, which is covered by everybody. And it means that we're having to add extra at this table, whereas a lot of what is being pushed to us is central government job. And I think we need to make sure that that happens as a sector moving forward.
Thank you. All good. Been moved and seconded. Can I ask for those in favour, please?
Aye.
Aye. Hands up. Yep. Cool. And then, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Sorry. Good to see you, Karen. The motion has passed. Thank you.
Oh, Your Worship, voice my objection, please.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right. Are you against or abstention?
No, against. Sorry, against.
Thank you very much. Item 5.2. Sorry, Dan.
Say take some time off now, but you could do the annual.
Before we do move on to the rates resolution, and Jeanette will come up for that. On behalf of all our staff, I'm not going to cry. Thank you. It's been an emotional day today. We just want to thank you, councillors, elected members, for all your time and effort as well. Yeah, there was a lot of change through the process, and we organised workshops, we cancelled workshops, and so we just wanted to thank you very much for your patience, your endurance, and yeah, honestly, the support through it. We as staff, we wouldn't have got through it without you being so understanding. So
Thank you.
Well done, Kendall.
Thanks, Danny. Okay. We have Jeanette, 5.2. Rates resolution 2425. Good afternoon, Jeanette.
Good afternoon, Your Worship, councillors. I'm just here to present the rates resolution, which we do after we've adopted the long-term plan. The rates, we maintain the same level of rates increase throughout the audit, which is 11.8% for year one. And the rates resolution covers off all the different rates levies that we charge across our general and targeted rates. So I'm happy to answer any questions as best as I can. I just wanted to bring one item to your attention, which hopefully Karen's changed on the actual resolution, is in the water rates area on page 133 of the council agenda. We've got several dates there that say the 21st of October. We are going to change those to 20th of November because by the time we charge all the rates, water rates, for 3 months, there's no way people will be able to pay it this month, in 21st of October. So we'll move it to 20th of November. So that's the only change in the resolution.
Very good. Thank you, Jeanette. Any questions of Jeanette or Sarah?
Resolution.
Yeah, the resolution is quite long.
It's quite important. Thanks, Karen.
Well, we're putting that up. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's quite important to get perfect.
So that should be 20 November.
All the ones that say 21 October should be 20 November. Five.
I think that says no.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah,
You're good, Karen. It's always hard when someone's watching you.
no feeling. Not watching.
Is that supposed to be for a roll? No.
No, it's Whakara scheme. That's the water scheme. Whakara scheme.
Okay, so Taupō
Number three is sort of,
Perfecto. Any other changes there? No, that's it. Thank you, Jeanette. Any other questions of Jeanette or queries? Councillor Truman.
Sorry, just a little thing. I don't know if Serenity Cove, like there was an original name of this, the settlement's called Waipamu Farms now. I don't know if that needs to be changed. Yeah, where it says Serenity Cove's under number 5. That was like when, yeah. When we set up, it hasn't been called that for.
Oh, Serenity Cove. Sorry, what's it called now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know if that's under our.
By the river.
Which is probably brackets Waipamu Farms and.
oh, Waipamu.
Waipamu, you got that?
The name.
Brackets, absolutely, if you like. Waipamu, how do you spell that?
Yeah.
Yep, cool. That all right, Kirsty? Thank you very much. Okay. Other questions? Could I have a mover, please, for, thank you, Councillor Deputy Mayor, Councillor Taylor. Second by Councillor Parker, or you want to say something?
I was going to say, given this is a natural consequence of the long-term plan that we've just adopted, it makes sense to approve this, so I'm happy to do so.
Thank you very much. And second by.
Yeah, I'm happy to second so that the rates can be struck and appreciate that people, you know, the cost of living out there right now and that the next rate bill might be a bit hard to swallow, but hopefully people have kept their money for their rates aside. But I'm sure that customer services will help in any way that people need. But yeah, so and very appreciative that the rates average is now around 11% as opposed to 27% when we first started the process.
And just reminding Councillor Buck, those ones on fixed income to make sure they're eligibility for their rates subsidy from central government. Yeah. So we do get a little bit of our GST back. Right.
So just a tiny bit concerned about that Waipamu Farms if it covers more than that, and I'm just because this has been reviewed by our legal counsel, I'm just wary of changing that. Or we can include here. I don't know.
Happy to take it out, but just if we could look at changing it for the next time
Yeah,
because it's.
Yeah, we'll look into
I
it.
think we take it out then just to be on the safe side there. That's-
Development name and
Yeah, cool. Okay, all those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. All right, no, we're not gonna ask, so, that's fine. So if we could just stand for the Whakapapa Kia, please. Ina hui te rito o tene rui. Ke wate e ranga. Ke wate a raro. Ora ki te pai. Hui e, sorry. Thank you very much, councillors.